Hello, I'm Gary Schneider, and welcome to Santa Fe Senior Fit. Do you have soreness in your joints, especially the shoulders? Well, as we age, sometimes Mother Nature comes calling, and if you've been lifting weights for a long time, maybe incorrectly, or suffer from tendinitis, your joints are starting to say enough. Stiffness and soreness can be caused by inflammation, irritation, or micro tears in the tendon from overuse, repetitive motion, injury, aging, or underlying conditions, causing pain, tenderness, and swelling, often near joints like the shoulder, the hip, the elbow, or your knees. A good alternative to lifting weights when you have sore joints is switching to or incorporating resistance bands. Resistance bands offer a versatile, portable, and joint-friendly way to build strength, improve flexibility, and enhance functional fitness while lowering stress on the joints. And they come in different types, lengths, and strengths that you can choose from. First, let's look at how you should work out your shoulders as a seniors. Shoulders don't need a lot of work in the first place. You need fewer sets than you would think, since the shoulders have received so much work over the years. And if you're working out your chest and back, your shoulders are already getting worked indirectly. When you do chest presses, your front delts are helping to assist. When you work your back, those muscles, when any type of row or pull up, your rear delts get worked out as well. So if you still want to use weights for your shoulders, I recommend performing overhead presses, rotating between dumbbells and barbells. The overhead press works the entire shoulder, primarily the mid delt. I do about 3 sets of overhead presses, starting or rotating between barbells and dumbbells twice a week, but always with a much lighter weight than you think, aiming for 10 to 12 reps and rarely to failure. As a senior, it is easy to strain or tear a rotator cuff by using too heavy of weights and using incorrect form. There's a safer way to strengthen your shoulders using the resistant bands, both for overhead presses and targeting each individual head of the shoulders. Okay, first we're going to look at some overhead presses using bands. This one is called the lying one-arm overhead press. Here you lie down on the ground and put one end of the band under your foot and the other end in your hand on the same side. The thing that makes this one great is you can adjust the tension by raising or extending your leg out. Next is the kneeling up and over. This is one of my favorites. On this one, you kneel on the ground with the bands under your knees and place your hands like this. The right hand inside the band and the left hand on the outside of the band, and then bring the left hand back around and put your hands in a prayer mode. Now on this movement, you can go straight up and down or down and over a bit, but make sure to keep your hands pointed up and close to your body. For the front delts are 2 exercises performing raises. The first one is doing raises together with one end of the band under your feet and raising both arms out front with the thumbs slightly pointed up. The second one is a single arm raise with one end tied to a post, and raise that arm out just about to shoulder height. For mid delts, we're going to do some lateral raises. The first one, have the band under one foot and the other end on the opposite side with the band over the top of the hand. Again, with the thumb pointed slightly up, not down. The next one is called hip huggers, just like you're pulling your pants up. For this movement, you need 2 bands doubled up. Place each band under a foot, and then pull the bands up with your elbows going back behind your back, not straight up. If you go straight up, that's going to turn it in more to a shrug. And finally, the rear delts, which most people I see focus on just the front and the mid delt and ignore the rear delts. To have a nice balance to your shoulders, if you're working the delts individually, remember the rear delts. The first one is the kneeling rear delt pull. Here you wrap the band around your upper body in each hand, then kneel down with the palms on the ground, and alternate raising each arm, focusing on that rear delt. And last but not least are face pulls, which are great at targeting the rear delts with external rotation. Make sure on this movement to keep your hands in a neutral grip as you pull the bands back. So if you're a diehard and still want to use dumbbells or cables for raises, just make sure you go light. Aim for about 15 reps and make sure your thumbs are slightly pointed up to avoid impingement. Thumbs down on dumbbell raises promote internal rotation, which is not good, and this can lead to tendonitis and rotator cuff tears, which my next video, I'm going to show you some home exercises you can perform to see if you have a rotator cuff tear. So in summary, take care of your shoulders and don't go too heavy. Always warm up your shoulders before lifting using something like a pendulum swing. That's where you just be relaxed and let that arm do arm circles, get the blood flowing in there. You can go both ways, back and forth, or an external rotation with a band as an example, and this is just one of them. So I have a band here, and I'm just going to go external rotation to about a 90-degree angle, do about 12 reps, do both arms. It's a good warm-up before you start exercising your shoulders. So if you want to use weights, mix it up using weights and incorporating those bands. Your shoulders will respond. Thanks, and God bless.